Okay, everybody, it's now time for Homework Hub, which means I need you to get out your workbooks, find a seat at your grade tables, and raise your hand. Just kidding. Here are our expectations for homework. Homework must be completed. It doesn't necessarily need to be correct. And students will be led to answers never given them. There should be an appropriate atmosphere, nice and quiet, with limited distractions for 30 to 60 minutes, and it will be maintained by staff. Remember, if we're asking students to be quiet and use whispering voices, we will also do that to model the expected behaviour. When students are done, or if they have no homework and we've checked and verified that, they will be given quiet activities to do, which will be away from those students that are actually doing homework. Let's go into breakout rooms now. Use these questions as prompts. Quite often, a student will need medication during homework or Playwright Fitness. So here is how we do it at Right at School. We only issue the correct dose for medication parents have given us directly. School nurses may have their own, but we'll never, ever rely on them for medication because they are probably not in the building anymore. We record medication as it was administered in the medication log every time. And medication should be stored in its original box, and it should be kept away from students and only issued by trained staff members. This is our Medical Emergency Response Plan, or the MERP. This is for those students that require emergency treatment because they have seizures or other life-threatening conditions. This contract must be completed before the student can attend our programs, and it must be completed by the parent, the physician, and us. Because this is a legal document, staff should only sign the response plan when they have been trained to administer the treatment. As a team, think about these questions. How are you going to ensure that all students receive medication when they need it? How are you going to ensure that the staff member issuing the medication has a witness to verify that and that they were never left alone? And how are you going to ensure that medication hasn't changed, hasn't expired, or is replaced when it's needed? And then, how are you going to ensure that emergency medication is carried with you everywhere the students are? Okay, Playwright Fitness. What is it? Well, it's 20 to 40 minutes of active group play or free play outside. We'll always provide a structured game for those students that need structure or don't know how to self-start. We'll always actively supervise the area and bring out supplies like first aid kits, walkie-talkies, and we'll put up a sign at the front door so that families know that we've actually gone outside. Let's think about the logistics here for a second. Playwright Fitness is a really heavy time for family pickup. So how are we going to ensure that kids can leave straight away? Also, how will we know we have all of the things that we need, like incident injury reports, first aid kits? And then why do we make sure that kids are never out in our games? Incident injury reports should only contain facts and details that are important. We will never use opinionated language or name other students. All the sections should be filled out completely, and we'll ask ourselves if it fills in all the gaps. Does it contain all the information a family member would want to know about this incident? Here's how an incident might play out. You've just seen an altercation between two students, one of whom was injured by the other. So here's what happened in detail. Go ahead and write out what you would put in an incident report using the incident injury report in your workbook. Now it's time for Daily Double. So here are the expectations for that. We use our curriculum calendar and thematic units in order. We think about how we plan our curriculum so that it makes sense. We set aside resources for student-led projects and imagination stations, so whenever you do your triple play days. Remember, Daily Double is when we do the thematic activity for the day, as well as the student-led project, which lasts for 3 weeks. Triple play days mean that there is the thematic activity, there is the student-led project, and there's the imagination station. We'll also intersperse 5 choice days throughout the 3-week-long unit. These are activities that give us the flexibility to partner with our schools. For instance, it might be Dr. Seuss Week. And so we'll give our students some paper and markers and encourage them to create their own Dr. Seuss book. Here's a Daily Double in action. Now discuss in your teams, how will we keep track of choice days? Where can we find additional resources for those student-led projects and the imagination stations for free? And where might we find curriculum ideas for choice days or camps? As you can see, family pickup happens throughout the afternoon, but really starts going on around homework all the way to the end of the program. We'll greet every person that enters the room with a smile, and if we don't know who they are, we'll always ask them for identification. If it's a new family member, we'll always check their names off against the approved pickup list. Remember, just because a child calls someone mom, that doesn't necessarily mean that that person should be picking them up. Going back to our mission of being parent peace of mind driven, it's important that we build relationships with all of our parents, even those quieter ones, and refer to them by name once we know what their name is. That way they'll feel seen and important to us. And while you're waiting for the student to get ready, go ahead and give them a little nugget about the child's day. This can be an activity that they enjoy doing, something they did that went above and beyond our expectations. And if we have to address a concern of that student, we'll always do this privately and respectfully, and with the attitude that we want to partner with this family member on this issue. Now, as a team, discuss what happens if we fail to build a good rapport with our families. Why do we use the word families over parents? What kind of positive things can we share about the time their child was in our program? What are some of the ways we keep families informed about the fun things that are happening in our program? Here are some Safety Shields announcements. Remember, students must be signed out of our programs every day, and students are only released to authorized pickups. As students are signed out, draw a line across the remaining transition boxes in your Name to Face form and put the time they were picked up in that column so you know that child won't be taking part in any more transitions for that day. Okay, coming into land now with choice clubs and free play. We'll provide limited hands-on choices indoors because this is obviously a heavy time for parent pickup, and we'll guide kids to put things away throughout the program before they depart, and we'll circulate to continually engage and maintain that calm, productive atmosphere that is welcoming to parents. Go ahead and check the wiki for what you can do for your choice clubs. And then it's time for us to take down the program. We always leave the space better than we found it, and we'll always file documents away such as the attendance roster, the Name to Face form, incident logs, medical logs, and we'll always file them away safely, and we'll lock up our tech and put supplies away so that we can find them the next day. PMs will verify that Name to Face forms are complete and sign them, looking for lines and empty boxes. Now discuss as a team what we can do to ensure the places that we've used in our program are left better than we found them. Who is going to be responsible for putting what away? And when should we start putting things away? When it comes to mandated reporting, if you observe suspected child abuse or neglect, you must report it. Report it to the State Department of Child Welfare, which is completely mandatory, and your supervisor. Do not investigate further. You will now be given our safety shields, and your job is to put them into the correct categories as a team. Before we wrap up today, I want you to think about something for me. Why did you join right at school? You can use the prompts in your workbook or just freestyle, but I want you to think about this and have this handy, because this is why you do what you do. This is why you bring your A game every single day. This is why our students feel safe around you. This is why you matter, not only to the students that you serve in our programs, but you matter to everybody else at Right at School. We are a better company because of the unique awesomeness you bring to the table. And may you have the most rewarding year you've ever spent being part of the best before and after school program in the country. And thank you. Thank you once again for investing in our students by delivering safe, engaging, and meaningful programs that will leave a lasting impression on the students we serve. Thank you.